Here's an exclusive sneak peek of exercise 1 inside the backhand loop training for table tennis video part 2. For drill 1, you'll be dealing with 2 different sequences to set up the backhand loop. For sequence 1, you're going to make a serve short to the backhand. If your partner pushes the ball to the backhand, you're going to loop down the line, then it's free. For sequence 2, you're still going to make a serve short to the backhand. If your partner pushes the ball short to the forehand, you're going to move in, push the ball back short to the backhand. When they push the ball deep to the backhand, you're going to backhand loop to the middle, then it's free. Now that I've explained the 2 sequences, I'm going to pull this drill apart in a very systematic way so you have a very good understanding of why this drill is going to work in a certain way. And the first thing you have to understand is, why would a person push the ball short to the forehand or deep to the backhand? And the reason is, this person are using those 2 options to avoid your forehand. So you want to approach this drill understanding that if they push deep to your backhand, you shouldn't be thinking about a forehand loop. You should be thinking about what you're going to do with the backhand loop that sets up your forehand. The reason the backhand loop is the best play for the deep push is because you don't have to move. And because you don't have to move, you can shift your weight and make your backhand loop down the line away from your opponent. And in most cases, your opponent is going to have a challenge making a solid play if they have to move first. And if you can get your opponent to move outside of the racket radius to make the block, they're going to expose the backhand or the middle. Making the backhand loop down the line, there is big risk as well as big reward. And the risk is your opponent blocking the ball wide across court, positioning you off the side of the table. And the reward is, after you make a backhand loop, your opponent barely gets a racket on it, and most of these returns land in the middle of the table, which will make it easier for you to do a finishing attack. A frequent error you'll make for this drill is not being in the down the line backhand loop position once your opponent has pushed the ball deep to your backhand, and this will affect your timing as well as your ability to execute an opening attack down the line. So So make it a point to start shifting your position to down the line once you've seen your opponent push the ball deep. Another way you make errors for this drill is actually moving in for the short ball when your opponent has actually pushed the ball deep. And this is how a broken play is created, because you won't be able to do a quality backhand loop, and you may end up doing a bad return, allowing your opponent an opportunity to execute a finishing shot. So make it a point to watch your opponent commit to a shot before you move. What will prevent you from making simple errors is getting yourself back into the neutral position after you've made your serve, and not trying to lean towards where you think your opponent is going to most likely play. You don't need to be ahead, because your plays are already mapped out, so you don't have to think about where your opponent is most likely to play the ball. To watch this entire 14-minute drill or purchase the video, go to www.dynamictabletennis.com and start backhand looping better today.